People? What's good? What's going on? Good evening or good day or good afternoon to you. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to TrailBlazerz Radio. I am your host, Mr. Frederick Beatty. Thank you so very much for tuning in for us, with us today, tonight, this morning, tomorrow morning, or whenever you're going to watch this. You could have been anywhere else, but you're right here rocking out with us. And I most definitely appreciate that. So thank you for that. The track you just heard in the background is called Life in Full Throttle, produced by moi, yours truly. Um, Thinking of publishing it, thinking of not publishing it, you never know. But anyway, with all jokes aside, man. First of all, thank you guys for tuning in with us. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on Facebook. You can also check out our Spotify page, our Spotify's page. There's a lot. There's a plethora of audio audio podcasts, prior podcasts, and then some newer stuff, some newer podcasts. Mostly just a lot of voice recordings about me diving into these crazy yet interesting pop culture worlds and things of that nature. So make sure you check us out on Spotify as well. But if you guys have been tuning in to this Survivor Story series, we started off with a bang with Dr. C, Dr. Crystal Fenderson. We also followed that. We followed the second episode up with me telling my story in a lot more detail. For the third episode, I have a surprise for you guys. So first and foremost, this young lady, I've known her since high school. Cool as the other side of a cucumber. And I consider her a really good friend, but also somebody that I respect very, very immensely. She's out here grinding, she's working, but she's also working on a platform that I know is gonna be able to help a lot of women as far as empowering them to be who they are, be unapologetically and authentically them. But there's a lot that I could tell you about her, but I'm gonna let her tell her survivor story. And I'm gonna bring her up right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you guys Miss Dedra Pledger.
Hey everybody, what's up? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Great evening,
Great
great
evening.
morning, great afternoon,
Ah,
whatever time of day or night you're tuning in and you're watching this episode. Happy Thursday. My name is Miss Dedra Pledger, aka Queen D, and I am so honored and so thrilled that my longtime friend, um, high school alumni classmate,
1990 forever, baby.
uh, co-worker at one time, and short-term companion, formerly. I'm so honored that he has thought enough of me and highly of me to bring me onto his platform to share my story. As you all may or may not know, October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month,
Mhm.
and I am a two-time domestic violence survivor. So I'm very, very happy to be here and to share my story because I am a woman that is all about women empowerment, and I'm always passionate about encouraging, uplifting, inspiring, and motivating women, particularly 40 and up, but of any age,
Mhm.
just to be the best version of themselves that they can possibly be. We all go through things in life. Life is always lifing, but what's most important that when you do go through these situations in life that you find yourself in, that when you fall down, you find a way to get back up and keep pushing and moving forward. And at 53 years young, I feel like I have more years behind me than I do ahead of me, and that I
Mhm.
have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and understanding and encounters and experiences to bring to the table and, discuss with various women and just empower them. So I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to tell my story. I hope that my story will help someone and bless someone that may be going through domestic violence, or someone that's still healing from some type of abuse that they have encountered in a
Mhm.
relationship in the
Mhm.
past or presently. It's a journey. I'm still healing from my previous encounter. So I just wanted
Mhm.
to come on here. I'm glad to be here and just tell my stories.
Happy to have you here, D. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank
So,
you.
so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move to the side, and
Okay.
I'm gonna let you loose. So go. So by all means, tell everybody your story.
I will. I will. Thank you. Let me just give y'all a warning up front. One thing about me, I'm a very detail oriented person, and sometimes I can be long winded. I am going to try my best to give you the story, but not take a whole lot of time doing so. And if I find myself doing so, Fred, just reel me back in. Give me some type of cue.
Oh yeah,
Bring me back in, because I want to be here long enough to share my story and to be a blessing, but
right.
I don't want to be excessive with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we here for a good time, not a long time. I
Not a
got you.
long time. Right, right, right. Okay,
Trust me, I got
so
you.
I'm going to start with my first story, my first encounter with domestic violence.
Mhm.
And this occurred sometime, like, I cannot remember the exact year. Okay.
Right.
Ladies, and gentlemen, I am at a point in my life where I'm not ashamed to say I'm dealing with menopause. Okay.
Oh gosh. Oh my
And one
gosh.
and one of those symptoms that I'm dealing with is brain fog.
Ooh.
So,
I thought the hot flashes was it.
oh,
Apparently that's
see,
not it.
that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm big on health and wellness too, so I got to educate the people. Like, until Halle Berry started this initiative of menopause and perimenopause is being talked about more now in this day and time than it ever has been before in the past.
Right.
And because it wasn't something that was really talked about in the past as much as it is now, we, women, men, society, we all have thought menopause was just all about hot flashes. And that's so incorrect. There are many more symptoms
Mm,
that a woman experiences when going through perimenopause or menopause. And one of those is brain fog with menopause.
mm,
So, with that being said, some things I can remember all of the details about, and some I can't. So,
right.
moving right along, this first encounter that I had with domestic violence occurred sometime in the late 90s. Um, During this period of time, I was working at AT&T in their residential um, billing center. At the time, that was in Marietta, Ontario Mill Road. I worked in their call center as a customer service representative between 1996 and 1999. And I started dating one of my coworkers.
Oh boy.
That sound familiar?
Oh boy. Yeah, man.
So I started dating one of my coworkers. Some people don't mix business with pleasure, but I was not one of those type of people. I guess, I didn't have a problem with dating. people that I work with because that's where I spend a lot of my time at. Was work.
True that. True that.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at that point in time, I think I was in my late 20s. Okay.
Mm.
Late 20s, I guess, early 30s, somewhere around there. Again, I can't remember all the details, but that was half
You
of my
said
life.
1996, so that's probably that's late 20s.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's something like that.
Somewhere along their lines.
Something like that.
I got you.
At that point, I still got a lot of growing to do and a
Oh yeah.
lot of lessons to learn. So I dated this guy that I work with. Of course, I'm not calling any names.
Mm,
I dated this guy for a short period of time. And when I say a short period of time, 2.5 months. I can remember that. I can remember that time frame. Now I'm good with remembering time frames.
good grief. 2.5.
When
Yeah,
it
that's
comes to relationships, I'm good with remembering time frames.
two
I
and a half
dated him
months.
for 2.5 months. And
That's just
at
short.
this time that I dated him, in those 2.5 months, I quickly came to realize that he is not the person for me.
Mm,
Um, he's from New York.
strike one.
Oh,
Strike one.
oh.
Strike one.
And let me tell you why I say, oh, because he made it hard for any man that I met after him that told me they were from New York. Now, where in New York he's from, I cannot remember. It's either between the Bronx or Queens.
Strike two.
Right. But
Thank Jesus.
after that encounter, I developed this stereotype. Like, if you tell me, if you trying to holler at me and you say you from New York, and if you say you from the Bronx or the Queens, I'm like, mm-mm, I don't want none of that smoke.
Hard
Nope.
pass.
I don't want none of that smoke. But at any rate, so getting back to the story, I dated him for 2.5 months. I quickly realized in this time, like, he's way too aggressive for me. Like, I'm an alpha female and he's an alpha male, but
Hold on. We gotta stop this crap. We gotta stop that right there. No such thing.
okay, why do you say that?
You're comparing human behavior to the behavior of pack animals.
Okay.
Wolves running. Wolves are pack animals. Lions are pack animals. There's an alpha, there's a beta. That's just their hierarchy of how that works. You could I don't and this is just my belief. Not jump
Educate me.
hopping off subject a little bit.
Okay.
My belief is that there's no such thing as alpha and alpha beta male. I mean, in certain circles, yes, but not when it comes to relationship things. I'm no more. I would be. I can't say that I'm an alpha male because alpha males in pack animal mentality, they're the top echelon. They're the best of the best, the creme de la creme. These guys, those alpha males in those packs, they they get their choice of what they want to do with the females in the pack. Now compare that to human behavior. It doesn't to me it doesn't work that way. To me it doesn't work that way. Comparing pack animal behavior to human behavior, it's kind of like a I'm gonna call it an oxymoron because it does to me it doesn't match up. I've heard women's and then, again this is not to disparage you because if that's your thinking, that's your thought process, then it's your thought process. Most definitely, and and when you say I'd be like facts, but the way I look at it, alpha male, alpha female, yeah, those tropes to me don't exist. To other people, it do, they do, but they don't exist to me because I'm not comparing myself. I'm not comparing my behavior to the behavior of pack animals because that's different. Because that's different.
Mhm.
'Cause that's a different behavior. An alpha
Mhm.
male in a pack, they get to pick and choose the females in the pack who they want to get down with.
Mhm.
Alpha and it's the same thing with alpha females. They choose whoever in the pack that they want to get down with. Now, of course, in psychological and behavioral health terms, those are those terms are used, but to me they're not synonymous. They're not you. They can't be used interchangeably. I mean, if you say you're an alpha female, I'm in my mind I'm gonna be like, yeah, no such thing. But at the same time, I'm not gonna disparage your thought process because
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say in my mind, no such thing. But your thought process is your thought process. If you say you're an alpha female, then cool. Who am I to say? Who am I to say that you're not?
Well, I can definitely respect and understand your point of view. So, if you had to characterize me, because you got to know me on,
More than one occasion.
in close proximity for a short period of time. So, if
I wouldn't
and
consider you
then
that.
what would you describe me
I wouldn't
as?
consider you an alpha. I wouldn't consider you an alpha female. That's just I would consider for me. I would use headstrong. I would also use um I would use headstrong. The
Okay,
big difference between
okay,
alpha and head because a person that's headstrong, of course they're gonna do what they do regardless, but they're gonna do it their way regardless. But
okay,
also one of the things I will say about some headstrong people is that they're tunnel visioned. I never that's something I don't see. I never saw that. I never saw
gotcha,
that with you.
gotcha.
Headstrong, yes. Everything else I won't say throw it out the window, but again, your thought process. What I'm saying is basically an opinion of mine. But
Okay,
these New York cats, oh God.
yeah. So,
These boys think they the top dog in Jesus Christ.
yeah, I just, I couldn't get with his. I couldn't get with his aggression. I couldn't get with his demeanor. And
Mm,
so I quickly realized like, yeah, this is not working for me. So during the time that I dated him
mm,
for those 2.5 months, I was not in my own place at the time. I was
right,
living at my father's home.
right.
My oldest daughter and I, which she was 3 years old at the time.
Mm,
And so because he had his own place, we spent a lot of time at his place. So when
mm.
I determined that, you know, our short-term relationship was not going to work for me,
Ooh,
um, I told him maybe at work that day that after work I was gonna come by and get my things and we needed to part ways.
mm,
So I did just that. After I picked my daughter up from childcare, after I got off work, I went over to get my things that were at his place. And he was trying to convince me to not leave and have a conversation with him. But I had my mind made up and I was not going to listen to anything that you had to say because my mind was made up. So as
mm.
I was attempting to leave, he kind of jumped in front of me at the door to kind of like prevent me from leaving.
Ooh,
So now you're holding me against my will.
they
And I'm
mm,
asking you to let me leave. Like, stop blocking the exit to the door of your apartment
let me
and
pass.
let me leave. But you're insisting that I stay and hear you out.
Mm-mm.
So this kind of started getting heated at this point because now I'm getting frustrated because you won't let me leave. And now you're starting to scare my daughter, my
Ooh.
3-year-old daughter.
Mm.
And at this point, I'm pleading with you to move out the way and let me go. So you first grabbed me by my arms and kind of rotated me around from being in the doorway to now back inside the apartment.
Good grief.
And so this quickly spiraled out of control. One thing led to another, and all I can remember at this point, I went from being at the door, almost out of this apartment, to you grabbing me and you shaking me and trying to convince me to hear you out. And then now we tussling because I'm trying to break away from your grip.
Mm.
And now at this point, he didn't have any furniture in his living room at this point. He just had furniture in his bedroom, one bedroom apartment. So
Thank goodness.
there wasn't nothing but space for us to go around in circles.
Mhm.
And then I got shoved into the wall near the dining room because this is open space between the living room and the dining room. And now you're kind of like shoving me up against the wall and you're saying whatever it is you're saying. I can't remember.
Oh,
But
man.
at this point, I'm kind of like, he actually doing this in front of my daughter. Now, mind you, this is triggering me.
Mm.
And let me tell you why.
Mm, mm, mm. Take your time. Take your time. Uh-uh. Take your time.
This is triggering me. Wait a minute, I gotta get it together because number one,
Uh-uh.
yeah, yeah, because like
Breathe. Breathe, breathe,
I can
breathe.
get emotional, but like this is my sister humor coming out like
No,
these
breathe.
lashes,
Breathe.
my
You good.
lashes need to be filled in, and I got to keep them together until my appointment come around next week. You know, so I gotta
I get you. I get you. But take your time, sweetie. Take your
yeah.
time.
Okay, so let me tell y'all why this is triggering me, and I only tell this story when the Holy Spirit would have me to tell it.
Right.
And the spirit is leading me to tell it right now. So, the reason this is triggering me is because my mother lost her life
Mm. Mm, mm,
when
mm.
I was 1 year old on Mother's Day,
Ooh.
May 10th,
Mm,
1973, here in this very home that I'm sitting in right now,
mm.
as a result of domestic violence between my father
And
and
her.
my mother. And to make this even worse,
Mm, 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 mm.
it happened in front of me when I was 1 year old.
So basically, it's a repeat process. It happened in front of you.
So,
It happened now. It's happening in front of your daughter.
so at this point, I'm numb. I feel like I'm having an out of body experience, and all I can think about is this is happening in front of my daughter, like this happened in front of me
Mm,
between my parents, even though this was not my child's father.
right.
But this situation escalated so quickly. When I tell you so quickly, it went from when I did snap out of it, from feeling like I'm having this out of body experience that like I can't believe it's happening. I'm numb. When I did snap out of it and I tried to fight back, because
Mm,
at this point I'm shoved up against the wall, which I hit the back of my head up against the wall from being shoved into the wall.
Oh, damn.
I was choked. And when I was finally able to break free from his grip, I ran to the kitchen to grab a knife out of his knife set. And before I could grab it, he beat me to it. And I somehow ended up on the kitchen floor. And now he's on top of me, choking me. And my 3-year old daughter at the time is standing here because the dining room didn't have no furniture in it, too. And she's crying. And I'm like begging and pleading with him to stop. And like, you actually gonna do this in front of my daughter? So
Mm, mm,
he
mm.
was so enraged. He was going in and out of it. And when I mean in and out of it, like he stopped at one point choking me so that I could get up off the ground. But I guess he was like, okay, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna stop. I just need you to talk to me. So in my mind, I'm saying, let me make him think that I'm about to stay and hear him out. But as
Mm.
soon as I feel like I got an opening or an outlet,
Gone.
I'm about to grab my daughter by her hand, snatch her up, and run out this door.
Mm, mm, mm.
So as I proceeded to do that, because I act as if I was about to walk into the bedroom so we could have a conversation.
Right.
But then as I proceeded to grab her and cut out, I somehow or another ended up in his bedroom. And I got slung onto the bed. And he grabbed a pillow from off his bed and put it on my face and started trying to suffocate me.
God damn.
So I'm exhausted at this point.
Right.
Like, let me free. Let me be. Let me go on. Like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to be you crazy. Like, I'm like,
Jeez.
this is unbelievable to me at this point because, again, I
Mm.
had never encountered nothing like this.
Right.
So I can hear my daughter crying in the background, but I can't see her, but I
Right.
can hear her. And so the pillow finally came off my face because I guess he could tell that I couldn't breathe. And I'm saying I can't breathe. At one point, I'm feeling like I'm about to pass out
Mm.
because I was hot, I was sweaty, and I could not breathe, and I was gasping for air.
Mm.
So he finally took the pillow off my face. And when I got up and tried to run out the bedroom to grab my daughter again to leave, I would find a gun pointed at my head. Again, I am really triggered at this point
Jeez.
because my mother died from a gunshot wound to the chest by my father.
Feel like it was coming back around.
Yes, I'm like, oh my God, I know I'm not about to die the same way that my mother did. Again, I'm numb. And of course, I'm not about to try to fight back with this gun up to my head and my 3-year old daughter standing right here. So at this point, I'm just praying, like, God, please don't let me die how my mother died in front of my
Right.
daughter.
Mm.
So
Jeez.
again, he snapped out of it because he was going in and out of anger. And so at this point, he snapped out of it. Now, I forgot to say this. I forgot this part. His nephew was there too. His sister's son, his nephew, at the time was about somewhere between 8 to 10 years old.
What the?
And his sister stayed in the apartment complex next to his. So she was at home, but her
Mm.
son was there. So when he did snap out of it and remove the gun from my head, he went to go call his sister. And he asked her to come around there because I guess he needed her to come calm him down. So that let me know, like, he aware he got anger management issues because he calling his sister like,
Right.
I don't effed up and I need you to come around here. So I'm scared to leave because now I realize you got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to try to dash off again because you might start shooting at me and my daughter in here, as well as your nephew.
Somebody could get hit.
Correct. So I'm just really like pacing around the living room floor closer to the dining room and got my daughter near me. And I'm waiting for his sister to arrive. So she got there real quick because, again, she stay in the apartment complex next door. And, he told her
Right.
whatever he told her. I can't remember, but she came quick.
Right.
And she was getting on him, of course, like, what are you doing? Da, 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 da. You got to let her go. Like, and so he let me go after his sister got there.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Thank God. And
That
so, glory to God.
man.
And
That
so at that point, I shoot, we had beepers back then, cell phones. I don't know what we had.
pages. Pages.
I
Pages.
don't know what we had.
Pages. And
Okay,
then
this is
and
what
then
happened.
and then them big old ugly cell phones.
I'm so emotionally distraught at this time that all I knew is I needed to call my daughter's father
Mhm.
so that he could keep her,
Right.
so that I could go to the police department, press charges on this ninja. You know what I really want to say.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you get
You,
the point.
oh yeah. You could have said it though.
For the sake of this platform, I'm going to keep it, a little bit decent.
PG
Yeah,
PG 13.
yes, that part.
Respect.
So, but yeah, if the camera was off, you know what, I'm going to be unapologetically me, Queen D.
Mm,
So, at any
respect.
rate, this was so crazy this night. So I called my daughter's father, which at the time he was at his girlfriend's house,
Mm,
whom, may I add, was very much intimidated and insecure about me.
mm.
And jealous of me as well. I didn't want him. You got him. You can have him.
Mm,
But
you birthed this child. Come on now.
but she knew that I ended that relationship, and if I called on him for whatever reason, that he was gonna stop what he was doing because he still wanted to be with me. She got him by default because I didn't want him no more. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. I had to call him at her house,
Oh man.
and so she was giving me a hard time when I asked to speak to him, harassing me like, "Why you calling my house?" Da, 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 da. Like, now is not the time for this drama. Like, I got real life stuff going on. Put him on the phone.
No, please, no,
So
thank you. Put him on the phone.
yeah. So I told him what was what. And so he immediately was like, come get me, because he ain't have no car.
Right.
She had one. But he immediately was like, come get me. I had a car.
Right.
So I pulled up to her apartment. to get him per his request.
Right.
And I don't know if she heard him tell me that, but that's exactly what I did. So when I got there and I called to say I'm outside, he
Mm,
came out and she stayed on the second level of this apartment building. It was a bottom level and the top level. She on the top level. So I pull up in front of the building and stayed in my car, me and my daughter.
right.
And she come outside running behind him with the drama, like, you really not about to leave here and go with her and da, 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 da. And he was like, I ain't with all that. Like, I got to see about my daughter. Cause I had briefly told him what happened.
Mm.
So she followed him
Oh God.
down to the car with all this drama and started antagonizing me. And I ain't in the mood for this. I need him to get in the car so we can go on about his business. So, long story short, he
Bad
got in the
move.
car. She's still outside with the drama. We bag up, pull off. I take him and my daughter to his aunt's house that stayed not far away. And I
Gotcha.
went to the police department
Gotcha.
to fill out my application for a, a warrant.
Mm.
And that's what I did.
Did this
So,
did this nitwit get his just desserts? Please say he did.
yes and no.
Damn it, I knew it.
Yes and no.
Okay. Um
But
that's
just the long story short, let me tell you how this ended. We went to court,
mm,
but the same evening that I went to fill my warrant out, I had to go back or either got a call the next day. I think I had to go back the next day to do it because when I got there, it was too late.
ah,
And when I go back the next day to do it, and they pull my information up, they tell me somebody had applied for a warrant for my arrest.
what the
So
what the actual
my
hell?
daughter's father girlfriend had gone down there and beat me there and and said she pressed charges against me for harassing phone calls and disorderly conduct. Do you know I went to court for my case with the domestic violence situation and her
And
case with her drama at the same time, the same day?
oh my God.
I'm the victim here.
Just messy.
Yeah, so I end up in court in front of the judge. She called both cases up at the same time.
Jesus Christ.
And it just, anyway,
Mm.
I tell you that those details
It,
another time because I ain't gonna be here long.
I
I'm
got a
gonna
fun
reel myself back in. You can ask a question though.
no, I got no, just I got a funny feeling this ended up being a clusterfuck.
It was some foolishness. I mean, some straight foolishness, and I'll tell you about it another time. But
Enough
long story short,
enough said with me. I already know.
long story short, they issued a warrant for his arrest. But he was allowed to turn himself in at a later time, which was I don't know when, of course, because he couldn't have any contact with me. Um, and then when we did eventually go to court, what pissed me off to the height of pissed me. First of all, let me back up. When I went to after I pressed the charges, I went to go talk to a detective. I'm going
Mm.
for attempted murder. This nigga don't try it. Excuse me,
Nope.
ninja.
You already said it.
Ninja.
I already
I
said it.
I want y'all to throw the book at this MF because he gonna choke me, suffocated me, and put a loaded gun in my head. All in front of my child. Like, I want attempted murder. I want child endangerment.
He need
I
the
want
book on
cruelty
that.
to children. I want aggravated assault. I want throw the book at him.
Plus the kitchen sink.
But guess what?
Mm, misdemeanor.
Because the only eyewitnesses to this incident
Or
was
children.
my 3-year-old child and his nephew, who was somewhere between 8 to 10 years old.
Mm.
The sister, she gonna ride for her brother, even though he was wrong and she got on him when she arrived. When the detectives interviewed that little boy, he denied any of that stuff happening. His mama had on drill him real good.
So he,
So
so this
those felony charges that I was hoping for
misdemeanor.
got downgraded to a misdemeanor simple battery.
And and this
I'm
and this,
pissed.
ladies and gentlemen, is why I say that the system, the judicial court system, when it comes to domestic violence victims, it is shit. It doesn't work out for them. It protects the perpetrators, and it doesn't provide any protections for the victims. I just wanted to throw I just wanted to throw that little rant, that little tangent out there, that little rant slash tangent out there, because that pisses me off to the highest, like you just said, the highest levels of festivity.
Oh my God, I was pissed. I was so
Grief.
pissed. And then it add insult to injury.
Damn, more.
When we in court and the judge, he decided to represent him. No, he had an attorney. He had an attorney. He had an attorney. I don't know if it was a public defender or one that he hired. But when he had to stand up and address the judge, he went and threw up some signs to the judge. It wasn't no gang signs, but he threw up some type of signs. Now, he was a Mason.
Enough said. Enough said.
Threw up some
Enough said.
signs to that judge. Do you know? Because he was a first time offender,
He got a slap on the wrist.
he got off with a $1,000 fine, a year of probation, and I can't even remember if he had to do anger management or not. But I just checked out after I heard the $1,000 fine and the 1 year probation. I checked out at that point. I said, "You got to be kidding me!"
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
even though he can't have no contact with me, I got to return to work and still look at this
Motherfucker.
that part.
So you did all this egregious harm to me, but you get to walk off with a slap on the wrist, and then I still got to go to work, and I still got to look at your ass. That's not justice. That's bullshit. And like
Call
I
it
just,
again like it is. Bullshit.
and like I said, the criminal justice system, and most. Oh yeah, we gonna. I'm most definitely gonna have a podcast or show about that, because the criminal justice system, when it comes to domestic violence victims, is shit. More protections for the aggressors and the perpetrators, less protections for the people who, for the men and for the women and men who endure this. And now, no resources, well, limited resources, and then the stay away orders don't work. The protection orders don't work because these dudes and women are who are aggressive like that can still just come into the person who they've literally terrorized lives and still make their lives a living hell. And there with no protection from law enforcement, no protection from the court system, none of that. I said it before. Said it before on a previous platform years ago, and I'll say it again. I'll say it one more time. Criminal justice system, when it comes to it is shit. It's just it's horrible, terrible. You got, yeah, that rant over. rant over.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with what you just said. And, just in conclusion of this first domestic violence story, um, that's why I feel how I feel about dating men from New York. Sorry, but not sorry. Y'all don't stand a chance with me.
You're done. You're done. But
And let me say this. Let me say this. I never say never
and
because because fast forward into 2016, I would meet a guy at Walmart and we dated for a couple of years. We never entered into a committed relationship, but he's from New York.
mm,
Um, I ain't gonna say he got anger management issues, but he definitely has some mental health challenges due to
mm,
childhood trauma.
of course.
And we were the best of friends. He is one of the best male friends I've ever had. We are still friends to this very day. I talk to him
Right.
regularly. And we only dated for 2 years, but we did remain friends. When I tell you this person has been here for me more than any other male friend that I have ever had. Anytime I ever needed him, he's been very kind, very nice, very generous, always there when I need him. But we just
Gotcha.
not compatible for a relationship.
Oh yeah.
But he's a great friend.
Yeah, some
So
people
that's
you
why I say never.
gotcha. It's just some people your friends on. I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah,
But man,
yeah.
so that first story, oh my gosh,
That's the conclusion of the first story, ladies and gentlemen.
that's a cautionary tale of a whole bunch of stuff. And mm, I'm like mm, you was getting emotional and I was doing the same thing because when you mentioned the simple fact of this was something that happened in your childhood and here it is a repeat of that coming back around again. I know there was a million thoughts running through your mind at the time. Not
Oh my
beside
God.
beside hysterical, besides panicking, besides fear, besides everything else. Now the thought of, geez, I'm gonna go out the same way my mom went out. This can't be happening. This can't be life.
But God,
Oh yeah,
because first and foremost, before I am anything, I am a woman of God.
word up.
He is my protector and he saved me
Mm,
from something that could have ended all bad. Because
something.
he has more work for me to do.
Oh yeah. Oh yes,
He
most definitely.
definitely has more work for me to do here on earth. And I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. So
Shoot,
y'all think
that's
this first story
tip of the
was
iceberg.
something?
Tip of the iceberg.
I'm really about to blow y'all mind with this second one.
Ooh, come on with it. Come on with it.
Mm. So before we do that, can we take a brief intermission?
Yeah, most definitely. So
Because I need to go to the ladies' room and relieve myself, ladies and gentlemen.
by all means, do that. While you do that, I'm gonna throw some announcements out here.
Okay,
So
cool. I'm going to go off camera for a minute. I'll be right back.
yes, indeedy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you guys to know first and foremost, I'm personally saying I'm saying this, and this is my rant on this on. Not it's not and this is not just in regards to her situation to to my friend and sister Deidre's situation. It's to literally any domestic violence situation. Period. And her story is a gosh, it speaks to a whole bunch of things a whole bunch of negative, a lot of negative, a lot of negative. And the to me it's like, and like I said earlier, the criminal justice system when it comes to the domestic violence victims is not is really just shit. And I say that I say that respectfully, of course. Respectfully meaning that the system protects the perpetrators. They give protection to the perpetrators, but they don't do anything for the victims at all. At all. But I won't say at all. The stay away orders, though useful, though useful, they're not always they don't always do what they're supposed to do. Number one. The orders of protection, they don't always do what they're supposed to. Number two. Um and in some instances, this is not I'm not sure if this is facts or not. Some of these domestic violence instances are hampered by by response time sometimes. And in that instance it could be literally minutes or seconds before the incident. Then now the instance has already turned violent, but now there's a more of an increased risk of that person not the victim not being able to survive. Just for a just a fact, one fact of that I want to let you say that I want to let you guys know that I want to let you guys know about this. The presence of a weapon in a domestic violence situation, more specifically a gun, increases the chances of increases the chances of domestic violence related homicide by 400%. 400%. Think about that. The the story you just heard, where a gun was presented, her chances automatically her chances of survival automatically decreased. The chances of her not being around like that increased 400%. 400%. It's not. I've said this as an advocate. I've also spoke my piece from both sides of the Gulf, man. I've lived both sides of the Gulf. But just think about that for a moment, guys. Just and like I said, the presentation of a weapon, and again, like I said, specifically a gun in a domestic violence situation, increases the chance of domestic violence related homicide by 400%. Deidre's chances went down when that gun was presented, and her chances of not being able to walk out the door with her daughter increased. But it is by the grace of God that she was able to escape that situation. Also, again, criminal justice system and domestic violence. Yeah, we gonna have that's gonna be something I'm gonna table for another day because yeah, congressmen, congresswomen, state legislators, aldermen, city council people, whomever, we gotta talk. We gonna have to talk real soon. But anyway, my guest is back. My guest is back in the building. So we're gonna let her go again with story number two. And I guess she said if you thought story number one was crazy, I guess we in for another surprise. So
We are.
so let's
I'm
so
back. Like I never left.
so let's talk about story number two. And I got a funny feeling this is probably gonna get even more zanier. Take a
This
breath.
one here, this one here is even more intense for me.
Oh boy.
And it's even more intense because this was the previous relationship that I was in. I've
Mm,
not been in a relationship since this relationship.
mm.
And this relationship ended on January 2nd, 2023. So now the details are more clear to me because this was more recent.
Wow.
Yeah. So this relationship ended almost 3 years ago as of this coming new year.
Dang.
Yeah. And I'm still healing.
Mm,
Um, it's taking me longer with this particular incident because this person was we were in a relationship longer
mm.
and we created some great memories during the time that we were together. And aside of the domestic violence, we had a good relationship for the most part, and they treated me very well.
Got you.
And they were bonded very well with my daughters,
Hmm.
and I was bonded very well with their daughters.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So, um, it was bittersweet
Mm,
to say the least. Okay.
gotcha.
So, have y'all ever heard of the term? This is how I'm gonna start this off. This is how I'm gonna spin this. Have y'all ever heard of the term, or Fred, have you ever heard of the term, you have to do something different to get different results?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I'm quite sure most of us have. So I'm in this era in my life now where when it comes to relationships, I want to do something different to get different results.
Gotcha.
And that means that I'm going to give men a chance that aren't typically my type.
Oh, you going outside the box.
So let me tell you what I did differently here. For the very first time,
Mm-mm.
I've always been attracted to older men when it comes to being in a relationship, a long term, committed, exclusive relationship.
Right.
I've always been attracted to older men, whether that's older by a year or more, just older men. I've been that way since I started calling myself having a boyfriend when I was a teenager. So, so nonetheless, my ex is 12 to 13 years younger than me.
Holy hell.
Right, right, right. I know, right? I'm like the first guy I decide
That
to give a
mm,
younger dude some play. This is what happens. So now, guess what? Just like dating the other guy ruined it for the guys from New York. Now, guess what my ex did?
he ruined it. Wonder what state or region he ruined it for. Who he ruined it for now?
It wasn't the state. He ruined it. He ruined it for younger guys.
Oh dang, he ruined it for the YNs. Okay, dang.
Nah, not for the YNs. Because the YNs is in the 20s. I ain't going that. No,
Yeah,
no,
we talking about depths of depravity at this point.
exactly. But at the time that first of all,
how
he
how
wasn't
much how
cheap.
much younger was this guy?
I said he was 12 to 13 years younger. And I say
Oh,
12 to 13 because somewhere along the line, down the line, I realized that he wasn't truthful about his age by 1 year.
good grief, really?
Yeah. So I don't know why he chose to lie by a year, but I guess he was trying to do whatever he could do to get his foot in the door. He tried. He tried it. And he
Mm,
was successful too. Because from the moment that I met him, And here
Mm-mm.
we go again.
Oh
Here
boy,
we go again.
this was not a coworker, was it?
Yes. No, 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 no. Not a coworker. Not
I'm
a
about,
coworker.
I'm about to
Not a
say.
coworker. But you know how we say some people don't want to mix business with pleasure, right?
Oh boy. So this was a business partner, or
No, I drive for a living, right?
right? He was a passenger.
Yes.
Oh,
So
holy hell!
at this day, which was this occurred in late December of 2021. Okay. So this
Mm,
occurred almost 4 years ago when I met him. And he was one of my passengers. I was driving Lyft. And I picked him up from work. And just like I do on occasion, I hold general conversation if the energy goes that way, you know. I hold general conversation, and he was in the back seat as I was driving him from work to home. And during this ride, which it wasn't a long ride at all,
right,
um, we was holding general conversation, and then he expressed how he thought I was a pretty lady,
right.
and he asked for my number because he said he wanted to get to know me. And I could tell from looking at him, even though he was very handsome, I could tell from looking at him that he was younger than me. I was like, how old are you? And so I think he told me he was 36.
Ah, boy, young boy flirting in a car, man.
And so at this time, I'm 49. I'm 53 today, so I was 49. 49.
Don't
After
remind me.
I said, "Mm-mm, you too young for me." I said,
No man.
"Mm-mm, mm-mm, you too young for me, but we can because again, I have male friends. I gel well with both men and women when it comes to friendship. So I
Right.
was not opposed to because he was easy on the eyes. I wasn't opposed to being friends with him. I was at that point in my life, I was open to meeting new men. I was open to friendship.
Of course.
And at this particular point in my life, I had not been in a relationship for a long time, not since my last marriage, which had
Right.
ended in November of 2016. So
Right.
we talking about it's now 5 years since I had been in a relationship. I, dated men, but nothing serious.
Right.
Okay. So I did tell him, you too young for me, but we can exchange numbers, be friends, talk, kick it from time to time, nothing else. No more than
Mm,
that. When I say kick it, meaning hang out, no sex, no none of that. Just be friends. So that's
listen.
exactly what we did. And by the way, I was dating somebody else at the time,
Right.
but I was not uh seriously dating the other person. But I was very much into that person that I was dating. So nonetheless, that's how I met my ex. And then that was exactly December 28th of 2021. And around February of 2022, I had come to realize that, the person that I was dating at the time, I had told myself that I was going to date them for a year to build friendship and really get to know them and determine how I want to proceed when we reach that 1 year point.
Right.
And so at this point, it was around 10 months. And I was starting to realize that I don't think I want to be with this person.
Hmm.
And I'm going to make my final decision when we hit a year, which would be in April. So because of that, I had said I wasn't dating anybody else but that person at that time. So I said I was gonna start opening myself up to
Right.
dating other guys.
Right.
So the young guy, my ex, I gotta keep, reminding y'all of who's who because I'm talking about more than one guy at this moment. So my ex at the time, he had asked me out for Valentine's Day.
Perfect timing.
Right, right. The finesse.
I mean,
The
yeah.
finesse. Cause hey, I'm a lady who hadn't been in a relationship for since I divorced my ex-husband. It's 5 years. I ain't had no Valentine date. I've been taking myself on solo Valentine date. So
Hmm.
I got asked out for Valentine Day. So, hey, why not?
Still about to get her groove back, y'all.
Even though I don't told him he too young for me, but I'm gonna get this date. It's
Still about to
Valentine's
get
Day. I ain't turned down no date.
still about to get her groove back, y'all.
So the date went really well. We went to dinner.
Right.
He always had been very gentlemanlike, very charming, very respectful. Like I said, he was easy on the eyes. He was cute. And one of the things that was most attractive, he had these nice hazel eyes.
Oh, that'll get you every
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Mine'll get you every time.
He had nice hair. He had nice complexion. He had a nice cut, nice six pack, like everything. But he just was 12 to 13 years. He was a hard worker.
Oh, he had it going on.
Nah, he have it going on now.
I mean, let you
He,
describe
he,
let you
he
describe it.
yeah, he has some very nice attributes about himself, but we all have areas of opportunity.
Right.
Um, he had 3 daughters that he had a relationship with, that he spent time with, and 3 daughters by 3 different women. He paid his child support. He spent time with them, like, he was family oriented. He loved
Gotcha.
his mother. Um, he had a good relationship with his father. Like, I liked a lot about him.
Right. Right, right.
And so after the date went well, so I started catching feelings as time went on.
Mm. So as you guys are bonding and talking and getting thin and just basically just feeling each other out.
I'm starting catching feeling. Time is going on. I hit that 1 year mark with the guy that I was dating, and I quickly, yeah, like he gotta go. Not
Got
that he, not
he
that
got a
he
bounce.
gotta go so I can be with
This
my
the
ex,
right, the young
but
guy.
our time is up. It's a year.
Yeah.
And we didn't make it to the finish line. And at this point in my life, I had just turned 50 years old.
Mm.
And I'm not trying to waste no time. And I'm not trying to allow you to waste my time.
Oh yeah, for
You're
sure.
gonna get a good year for us to build friendship, and then I'm gonna determine in that time frame if I'm gonna move forward with you or not. If I like you enough to be in a relationship with you. So
Mm.
so I ended up parting ways with the person that I was dating. And of course my ex took advantage of that. I mean, he really went into overdrive with it.
Oh, oh yeah. He found out you a free woman. Oh,
Oh yeah, he got to
it's
secure.
on.
He got to seal the deal. Now he got to reel me in. He got to apply all the pressure. Cause I already told him he too young for me. But then now he got old boy out the way.
Oh no, at this point it's a buyer's market. Get it before you get it before it's too late.
Right. So, ladies, I'm about to give you a lesson right now. Hear me out. Again, I'm passionate about women empowerment. And at 53 years young, I have encountered enough experiences, life lessons, and I got knowledge and wisdom and understanding to help you out and not make the same mistake. Do not, I repeat, do not date. Anyone when you're in a vulnerable place in your life.
That's facts. That's facts.
That is the mistake that I made with my ex, and it clouded my judgment.
Mm,
So at the time that I started catching feelings for him, I was going through a lot with family
mm,
as far as my father's health is declining.
right.
And let me reel y'all in and share some information with y'all because y'all probably saying, well, you see, your daddy killed your mother. So y'all probably thinking he either in prison or passed away, right?
Right.
He did his time,
Yeah.
which wasn't long because I was the only eyewitness.
Yeah.
And so he when I did my research in my adulthood, he did some time for involuntary manslaughter. And while he was away, I lived with my grandparents.
Mm,
2 years after my mother passed away, my maternal grandmother passed away due to a broken heart. She
mm,
never they said it was a heart attack, but broken heart. She never got over the death of her only child. And so her husband, which was not my mother's biological father, it was her stepfather.
right.
After my grandmother passed, I would end up living with my grandfather.
Mm,
And he kept me until my father got out of prison and he gained custody of me and he had remarried
mm,
someone that brought four children into the marriage from her previous relationships. And so I lived with my father from my age of 6 years old in a dysfunctional
of course.
home and childhood because my stepmother, whom I still keep in contact with to this very day, she couldn't focus on being a mother to me because my dad put her through it. He took her up through there. So from my age of 6 years old through 18 years old, I witnessed the most dysfunctional relationship and marriage. So I got some childhood trauma as a result of that and what happened to my mother. So moving right along.
And
Um,
parents wonder why their kids are maladjusted.
correct, correct. So, um, my father is still here, guys. That is the only parent that I've ever known. I don't remember anything about my mother. However, from stories I've been told from relatives and memories they've shared with me, pictures that I have of her. For those of you that follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, you may or may not can recall because I'm talking about this right now.
Mm,
Um, I do express my memories of my mother and missing her when her birthday comes around, which is October. When Mother's Day comes around, I bring her up from time to time, not a lot. I bring her up. Some of my associates know about this story of what happened between my parents. Some of them don't. I only share this information when the Holy Spirit would lead me to. But
right.
yeah. So nonetheless, my dad is still here. He's 89 years old. He has dementia.
Mm,
And so in 2020, um, that is when I start caring for my father. And that
right.
is also, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I started being a full-time driver for Uber and Lyft because that particular year, I lost my 9 to 5 that year because of the pandemic.
Of
And
course.
At the time, I had been driving Uber and Lyft part time. So for 5 years. And so when I lost my 9 to 5 that I had working in the healthcare insurance administration field, I stayed off work for several months. And when it was safe to start really coming back out and I was ready to look for my next 9 to 5, my dad got sick. I took him to the ER.
Mhm.
Luckily, it wasn't anything serious. Um, However, when the ER physician was going over his medical history and things of that nature, I realized my dad had some medical conditions I knew about, some I didn't know about. And
Right.
so at that time, I was like, mm-mm. I made a
Mm.
decision not to pursue a 9 to 5, but to start driving Uber and Lyft full time so I can be my own boss, make my own hours, and have the flexibility to come and go as I please so I could coordinate my dad's healthcare appointments to make sure he went to the doctor when he was supposed to, because he was
Mm.
one of those stubborn type of men that only went to the doctor if something was wrong because he could tolerate pain well. And when they would say, well, he did his routine visits and everything, but if he got ill, he tried to tough it out at home. And if he felt it was
Mm-mm.
something serious, he'd go. But when they
Mm-mm.
would say, come back and follow up with me in a month, 2, 3, 6, he never go back to his follow-ups because in his mind, oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. They just want my money. So I was like, like, nah,
Nah,
I'm
bro.
step in because him and my stepmother, former stepmother, they divorced for the second time.
Second time.
Yeah, dysfunctional. When I say from my age of 6 through 18, they were separated 7 times, married and divorced twice. Dysfunctional.
What the actual
All because of my father. Nothing. She was good to him. It was him.
being a taskmaster, good God.
Yeah. So anyway, he's still my dad. He's still my dad at the end of the day. So
Word.
I, would start assisting him in that capacity. And fast forward as time went on, more and more would come about with him becoming ill, and then eventually dementia starts setting in. And so the more time went
Mm.
on, the more care I had to start giving him. And so this particular year, back up for a minute, that I was dating, that I had start dating
The young
my
guy.
ex. Um,
The young
I
guy.
was
For those who don't know.
the young guy. The young guy. Y'all keep seeing me pick at my eye. I'm sorry, because again, let me remind y'all, it's time for my lashes to get filled in. And so some of these things, as I'm blinking, be falling down
Oh my God.
in my eyesight, and it be irritating me. So I'm trying to flip these suckers back up with my finger. Just
This ain't
hold on
working.
for one more week.
He said, "What my?" He said, "What
Hold
more?"
on for one more week. Then I'm gonna get you right. Get you right. Okay. So
It's
I
all
have
good.
a I have a sense of humor too, y'all. So um when I was vulnerable at
Mm.
the time that I in the beginning stages of dating my ex, because at this point in time, my dad my dad has diabetes. So he would wait too long to eat.
Oh
And
boy.
when he would do that, the sugar would drop and he'd be over here in this house by himself. And he live in Decatur. I'm in Conyers, about 30 minutes away. And he been on, passed out, fell, hit his head, and I ain't telling nobody nothing. But because I'm the one that's coming around the most, I can tell
Mm.
when stuff off.
Wow.
So at around this particular point in time it was around March of 2021. Um, he was suffering from a UTI. And when you may or may not know, when older people get UTIs that go left untreated for an extended period of time, it makes them start acting out very erratically. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
and so this particular situation happened with him. He fell, he hit his head, he sugar on drop low. He ended up in Grady for
Lord
quite
knows
some
how long.
time. I can't remember how long. But this incident happened one day on a Thursday. And then the following Thursday, we found my brother dead. My dad's only son.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So this is what I mean when I say I was in a vulnerable place. And
Mm,
so I recall a gentleman asking me, and when I say a gentleman, somebody that had something to do with my dad's health care.
right.
And I think at the time it was my dad's podiatrist, if I'm not mistaken. This lash is getting on my nerves. Y'all, please forgive me. I wish I had a mirror right here so I could snatch this thing on out because it just won't let me be great right now.
One
But
more week. One more week.
yeah, so my dad's podiatrist made the comment to me. He said, "You taking care of everybody, but who taking care of you? Because I'm not married. I'm a single woman."
Good
So when he
question.
said that, it kind of resonated with me. And I was like, well, I have a friend. I have a friend, and that friend is still my ex, the younger guy, 12, 13 years younger. So again, that just made me fall for him as time going on because he when I would come in after dealing with work and family health issues, my brother don't pass. I'm having to help my niece plan his funeral and stuff like that.
Mm,
So I would get to come home and just woosah, and he would just cater to me and love on me. And so yeah, now I want to give him a chance. Forget his age.
dive into that pool.
Yeah, like you got to do something different to get different results.
That's
And I've
true.
been so long without a man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah. All them vulnerabilities.
so guess what? Guess what, ladies? Guess what I do? Again, this is why you can't date nobody when you vulnerable. Remember, I told you I had went from giving a man a year for us to build friendship and get to know each other. I'm like, nah, he gets 6 months. I don't cut that time in half.
They do again 6 months.
And the reason I say that is because it took about 6 months for that representative to go away.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Most
Because
definitely.
when you initially start dating somebody, and this applies to men and women, when you initially start dating somebody, they gonna be on their best behavior because they trying to win you over.
Right.
But after about 6 months, in my experience, and I've spoken to other women who can attest to this, after about 6 months, you start seeing the true colors of who you're really dealing with. And then you can start weighing your pros and cons, looking at your
Mhm.
likes and your dislikes to determine if you can proceed with that person in a long term relationship or if there are some things that are just a deal breaker for you, right?
Right.
So I had already came to the conclusion because I knew that man wanted me. I had already came to the conclusion that if we still hanging in here after 6 months, then we're gonna have a conversation about being in a committed, exclusive, long term relationship.
Right.
And that's what we did.
There we go. But
So,
keep in mind, y'all, she mentioned the thing, she mentioned the vulnerable stuff, and she's in a relationship. Now, keep in mind, this is what I'm gonna say, and this probably could resonate with anybody. Be mindful of jumping in the pool because you never know how deep it is.
boy, what you talking about? Mm, mm, mm.
And if you jump in that thing and you don't know how deep it is and you can't swim, you gonna drown.
I seen the red flags, but when I tell you I had the blinders on,
You jumped in the pool anyway, didn't you?
I had the blinders on because all I knew is I was tired of this drought.
She said, I'm in.
I have always been a relationship type of girl, and like at this point, it's been
It's time.
it's been 6 years since I've been in a relationship. I ain't never been this long.
Oh
Without
man,
being in a relationship, I'm used to, I take a year between relationships, and I'm ready to. But I realize the older you get, the more difficult it is out here, ladies and gentlemen. Like for real. So I'm settling. I'm vulnerable. I'm lowering the standards that I've set for myself. I'm just going against everything I said I wasn't gonna do no more.
them three strikes right there.
And again, I'm not gonna give you all of the details
Ooh.
about this person, but
Mm,
I saw flags and I had the blinders on because at this point, I like how this man treat me, and that's good enough for me.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we having fun together and we create memories. So, oh, I don't let him move in, which is something I said I wasn't gonna do no more.
Uh,
Bless my heart. I let him move in, and everything was all good. He was being a provider, he was being a protector, he was dating me, he was gifting me. He was doing it. Sex was great.
mm-mm.
We went on vacations together. We created some good memories. We had some good times. But boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Found out
He
how deep. Found out how deep the
started.
pool was, wasn't it?
He started throughout the course of this relationship. I'm not going to give you all the details. He started doing things to remind me of somebody. And guess who that somebody is?
The New York cat.
Nope. Guess
Ooh.
again.
Hmm. Oh, your pops.
There you go. Bingo.
Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm. Like was it like a
And there
mirror? Was it
he
like a
is.
mirror image?
So if I had to sum up my daddy, and I love my dad dearly because my daddy made sure that I was physically and financially taken care of. I'm going to say it again, physically and financially. My daddy took care of me. I didn't want for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When I fell short of doing things I needed to do and wanted to do for my daughters that their fathers didn't do, my dad had my back. And
I,
that, ladies
I
and gentlemen, is why when he started needing assistance, I was there for him.
I can vouch for that.
Well, other people said they couldn't have did it, but
I can
that is
vouch for
not
that.
the heart that God created me with.
I can vouch for that. I can.
Yeah.
I would.
Regardless of what happened between my mother and my father, he's still my dad at the end of the day. And the good book says, honor thy mother and honor thy father. And that is what I would do. Okay. So,
Mm-mm.
anyway, if I could describe my daddy, functional alcoholic, not anymore, but back in the day, functional alcoholic, womanizer, abuser.
Mm. Where?
Abuse can come in multiple ways, not just physical.
Right.
So I have never seen my dad physically abuse a woman. Let me put that out there. But verbally and emotionally, oh my
Mm.
God, that's the worst.
Got a tongue like a knife.
Ooh, boy, what you talking about?
Cut you
So
every
at any
cut
rate,
you every which way but the right way.
right, right, right. So throughout the course of the relationship with my ex, told him, "You're starting to remind me of my father." And the characteristics I'm referring to is functional alcoholic and womanizer.
Mm.
Again, I'm not going to get into details. So, because I'm starting to see these things, I'm starting to experience anxiety, that I've
Mm.
never experienced in a relationship before.
Oh man.
Now, mind you, I'm already dealing with anxiety, and I didn't even know it at that time because of the healthcare issues my dad is having, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at any rate, I started experiencing anxiety, and it was just stressing me out because I'm like, I had caught this man doing something, but I feel it in my spirit because the way he moving, the way he carrying himself, the way he act.
Moving,
And
moving,
and
honey.
and and I did catch him cheating one time, and I forgave him, and I shouldn't have. Again, I'm not gonna get into details,
Mm.
but when somebody takes you back after you catch them cheating, the person that was doing the cheating, you're supposed to do everything in your power to reassure that person that that behavior is not going to happen again, and you have to rebuild trust.
Oh, I got a funny feeling it was business as usual.
Oh, my ex was not doing what needed to be done to assure me that he was not going to cheat again, because when I caught him cheating, I told him, let this be your first and your last time.
Mm.
And the only reason I forgave him was because the lady that I caught him cheating with, she told me that he had told her we ain't gonna be able to see each other no more. And this was at the time that he and I had just committed
What the?
to being in an exclusive relationship. So I
What the?
said to myself, well, he really trying to take our relationship seriously because this is something he had going on prior to us committing. And so he told her we're not gonna be able to see each other no more. So he's trying to take. So I took that into consideration.
What?
Again, I'm in a vulnerable place.
What the hell?
Again, ladies, don't date when you're in a vulnerable place. I have been in a relationship in 5 to 6 years. I'm dealing with healthcare issues with my father, and my brother don't pass. So I cannot think clearly, right? I can't think clearly
Mm-hmm.
to make a good decision about being in a relationship with any man at this time.
Right.
So vulnerable, don't do it. Don't do it. Ladies, don't do it. Take my advice now. Don't do it.
Dudes, y'all better be listening. Cause
Yeah.
they go for y'all too.
Yeah, it goes for the men too. Don't do it. So as time is progressing, I'm telling my ex, now he's my ex, but my man at the time, like, you are starting to remind me of my dad. That is not a good thing. And he the same sign as my dad, too, a Capricorn.
Oh, that's all. That ain't good at all.
And so
Mm.
he was a drinker,
Heavy drinker.
but he was still able to get up and go to work. Drinking didn't stop him from going to work, just like my dad. Every once in a blue moon, he might be hungover, but not often, just like my
Jeez.
dad. And again, I had some infidelity issues with him, just like my dad. So that's what I mean when I'm telling him. And then the way you moving, like you sneaky, like you remind me too much of my dad. And we're approaching a new year, and I'm not gonna take this behavior into a new year. I need you to resolve it, nip it in the bud. We gonna have to part ways, right? I don't gave you enough warning. So I
Mm.
ended up catching him in a lie about something as it pertains to a younger lady.
Oh
And
boy.
so I made the decision that I gave you your warnings. This is now the first of the year. And I told you I'm not taking this behavior into a new year. So guess what? Our time is up. We tried, it didn't work. Oh well, but we can still be friends, right? Because that's how we started off.
Right.
And at this point, well, you treated me well, but you just not mature enough to be in a relationship with a woman like me. You still got a lot of maturing to do and a lot of growing to do. So when I
Mm-mm-mm.
had caught him in this lie this day, I told him what I had discovered. We argued all throughout this day. He was hanging out with a coworker friend of his that he was cool with. During this period of time when this year happened, um, he had 4-day weekends off from work because of how Christmas and New Year fell.
Right.
So the week of Christmas, he had 4 days off. The week of New Year's, he had 4 days off. So typically, when he would get off work, he'll go get him a 6 pack of Coronas and come home and drink. That's it. But his drink of choice was Hennessy. So because he
Mm.
had 4-day weeks off, he was throwing the Hennessy back and the Coronas. So now you're drinking excessively, which is altering your behavior.
Mm-mm. Jesus. Oh
So
man.
this day that I broke up with him, he had been drinking excessively all that day because he was off work. He wouldn't drink excessively when he had to go to work the next day.
Oh, his ass was slizzard with it, wasn't he?
Oh my God. So by I had made up my mind what I was gonna do. So I beat him home that day. I came in and did my normal routine to get myself ready for the work the next day. But what I also did was I packed up his belongings and I put them by the front door. So that when he would walk in, he would see them and he knew I meant business. And I needed you to just take your L, grab your belongings, and get to the left,
Pick up
get
your
on
ball
up
and get
out of
out.
here.
Pick up your ball and get off the court.
Yeah, just get on up out of here. So when he came in, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting and you see me smiling, not because I find it funny, but I'm healed enough where I can be me while I'm talking about this, right? So when he came in from hanging out with his coworker friend that he cool with, drinking all day, I was already in the bedroom and I was sitting up in bed watching TV. And so when he came in and I heard the door close, he just came in with the drama. And normally he real cool, calm, laid back, chill.
Mm-hmm.
He come in with the drama, saying whatever it is he's saying, I can't even remember. So he was like, "Oh, so this what we doing?" I think that's what he said. So this what we doing?
Yup.
And I was like, "Look, I don't want no drama. I told you what the deal was. I just
Right.
want you to get your things and go." So he starts blurting out to me, "Well, give me my money back."
What?
So the money that what he was referring to was I had borrowed money from him because I was short on my car note.
Right.
And I first time ever me asking to borrow money because I never had asked to borrow money because he was forthcoming with paying the bills I asked him to pay as well as giving me money whenever he felt like giving me money.
Right. Right.
So this one particular time I was short on my car payment and I asked to borrow whatever amount of money I asked to borrow. And I told him I would give it back when I give it.
Right.
So this my man, no pressure.
Exactly.
You got money, you work, and you got a side hustle.
Right.
No pressure, right?
Of course.
So, but now when I tell you I'm done with the relationship, now it's a sense of urgency for me to give you your money back that you know I don't presently have. So I
Mm-mm.
was like, I don't have it, but when I get it, you good for it, and I will cash app it to you, right? So
Yeah.
this is what he used as an argument to not leave. Well, I'm not leaving until you give me my money. No, no, no.
Oh.
Now you
What?
disturbing my peace. You already don't disturb my peace since I caught you cheating. I
Yeah.
forgave you, and now you causing my anxiety to go up because of how you moving, and you not reassuring me that you're not going to cheat again. You telling me you not, but your behavior saying otherwise. And
Mm-mm.
I'm warning you that this is stressing me out and this is bothering me. And that if this behavior of yours continue with how you moving, like being a little sneaky link, you got to go.
Oh
So
yeah,
now
for
you
sure.
saying go, and now you want to use the fact that I borrowed money from you that
As an
you,
excuse to stay.
yeah. So
Oh God.
now this is escalating at this point, ladies and gentlemen.
Always get to that point. It always
So
gets
guess
there.
so guess what?
Mm, put out.
Luckily, my daughter that lived with me at the time and my granddaughter that lived with me at the time,
This is your youngest daughter, correct?
my youngest daughter, whom she's now 22 years old. I can't remember how old she was at that time. But she is the one that has my granddaughter
Mm.
that y'all hear me talk about often on social media. My Chloe, my G baby, my boo. They
Glamour.
weren't there, luckily. I'm a girl
Mm.
mom, y'all. I have two daughters and one granddaughter. So they weren't there at the time. And thank God. But when they tell you this situation escalated, I would find myself getting choked again.
Mm.
And
Jeez.
when I tell you this man choked me so hard, and he was gritting his teeth and biting his lip, and I had saw a side of him that I never seen before. And I knew that the alcohol altered his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying to myself, like, I can't breathe. Like, he choking me with both hands, and like I can't breathe. Like I'm thinking I'm about to pass out. And so next thing I know, you take your hands off my neck, but then you pull out a gun, cock it, and put it to my head.
Oh man. Good God.
Two-time domestic violence here. So what did I do again? I had this out of body experience and I went numb and I said, I'm about to die. Just like,
My mom. Jesus.
how did I find myself in a situation like this again?
Hmm.
Right?
Jesus.
So when the gun finally came from my head, now I'm trying to get out the house. I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm trying to grab my keys and my purse to get to my car and get somewhere. But now
Anywhere.
this person is holding me against my will. Here we go again. You won't let me out this house. I need you to leave. I'm begging and pleading with you. Just go. Leave.
Get out of here.
Just go. And so
Mm.
somehow or another, I can't remember. Um, I think he may have called his friend, coworker friend that he had been hanging out with. And I don't know how he ended up on the phone. I called him, he called him, I can't remember. But he begged and pleaded with him too to leave and to go to his father's house, which stayed about 15 minutes away. Go leave, man. Like, what you doing? So when I finally had a chance to exit the apartment and get to my car, I'm trying to get in the car and leave and call the police. Now you standing in front of my car, leaned over the hood with the gun pointing at me. Oh my God. If you call that police, I'm gonna kill you. I promise you. If you call the police, I'm gonna kill you. So I'm like, oh my God.
Oh Jesus.
And I can't leave because you're standing in front of the car, leaned over the car with a gun pointing in the windshield towards me. So I'm begging you to please get out in front of this car and let me go. Like, I'm begging and pleading for you to get from in front of this car so much that I'm exhausted. I'm
Was
tired. I'm
was the
out of
car
breath.
was your car running at the time?
Yeah, but
So
from fear that you finna shoot me, I'm
you
not
ain't
trying to,
you ain't finna move. I get it.
I
That-
could have hit the gas and ran you over, but that don't negate the fact that that gun's still pointed.
yep, and it could have went off.
Right. So I'm having to be real strategic about how I'm moving, right?
Right.
Because I'm not trying to provoke you.
At all.
So there would be a time that he would start pacing back and forth in front of the car, and then he would walk off to go into the apartment. And at that point, I quickly dialed 911. And as I'm trying to drive off, he come running back out the door with the gun. And I had to turn the volume down on the Bluetooth and
Mm,
talk real low. And I'm begging and pleading him, send help. He trying to kill me. I'm telling them what's going on as quietly as I can
right.
and asking them to send the police because this man about to kill me. He don't flipped out. He don't flipped his lid, right? So shortly thereafter, about three police cars came pulling up, Rockdale County. Shout out to Rockdale County PD.
Don't
And when
don't
he
play.
saw the lights of them coming through the driveway of the apartment complex, at this time, he was standing on the passenger side of my vehicle and he was grabbing at the door handle trying to get in the car. But of course, I got the doors locked. But you
Right.
still got his gun now. So
Right.
when he saw the police coming, all of a sudden he dropped to the ground. And I couldn't see what he was doing. He dropped to the ground, and then I heard what sounded like him slanging the gun somewhere because you can hear the metal in the concrete, right?
Yep.
And then when he got up, the gun he didn't no
Whoop.
longer have it. And now you cool and calm because now the police here and they get out the car and they ask him, they got they
They're ready. They're at the
hands
ready.
ready, and he put his hands up and they tell him to turn around and they handcuff him and
Mm.
they put him in the back seat and they came over to talk to me and I'm shook up and we went on the inside of my apartment and I'm explaining to them as best as I can why I'm emotional and trying to calm down and catch my breath. I explained to them what happened. They see bruises around my neck from the choking and you know um
Oh,
I'm
he
giving
cooked.
you as short of a version as I can as possible. But they
Oh,
came back and they told me that, do you know who you're dealing with? And they proceeded to tell me about pending charges that he had out of another county. And I didn't know this.
oh,
And he had a warrant out for his arrest for probation violation, which explained why he didn't want to leave. But he
oh.
used me owing him money as excuse. He didn't want to leave to go back to his father's house because you're on probation violation. So they had no problem in coming there looking for you. So you being at my apartment was,
A cover.
yeah,
Escape.
yeah.
Oh,
So long story short, um,
mm.
this man, um, I ain't gonna get into all the details, but he served a year between jail time and county jail with Rockdale County. Then he left Rockdale County after being there for about 8 months, and he got picked up by the other county that he had the pending charges with.
He got
and
extradited to that county.
he was there for about 4 months, and then he got shipped down the road. And
Mm.
a year later, he was out. How? I don't know. Um, and there's a no contact order, so we can't have any contact. And my
He ain't come.
profile is my profile is public, and so
He ain't come checking for you, did he?
he, you know how you could tell who your viewers are in your Instagram stories.
Of course.
He dips in and out from time to time to view me, and sometimes he heart stuff, and I don't do nothing. I don't I don't do
Mm.
nothing about it, because to be honest with you guys, I am not one to send our black men to prison for each and every little crime they commit. I'm more so for getting them the help that they need. So it was very apparent to me during the time that I got to know this person that he had childhood trauma.
Mm.
He had substance abuse
Issue.
issues, and the substance abuse caused him to have anger management issues. So I was an advocate for him getting the help that he need and not jail time, because I told you he was a hard worker. He had those three daughters that he
Mm.
took care of, and all of the good attributes outweighed the bad to me. And I wanted him to get the help that he needed. That's the love and the care that I had for him. But I didn't want to have nothing else to deal with. Do it.
But sometimes that hard time is what some people need to
You
get that
right.
get their shit together.
You are right. You are right. And you're right. And I know a lot of people may or may not disagree with me, but that's how I feel. This is my story.
Oh no, oh
And
most
that is
definitely.
what God laid on my heart. And they were trying to give him 25 years.
Ooh,
And I didn't cooperate with the DA because I didn't want him to get 25 years. I want get the help you need, right? So that's probably why after a year or so he was out. I'm not
true.
sure.
I
I'm
mean,
not sure.
you know what? The one
But that's my story.
the one thing I will say is that the compassion for that is the compassion you have for that for him to at least get the help. For me, I look at that as being noble. I do. I really do. But also to the opposite of that, that could turn into something far. You know what? I won't even speak that, but it has the possibility. It could present the possibility to be something and something different. And like I said, I'm all for compassion and showing people a different way than just throwing somebody in jail or putting somebody let somebody go to prison. But like I said, sometimes some people just gotta sit there and wear that and sit in that and figure out what it is they got going on. Maybe that's the only way they can get the help that they need, but also maybe that's the only way they can change behavior.
You are absolutely correct. And my prayer for him is that during the time he was in prison, that he did learn a lesson behind this. Who knows? Um, when the case closed, he ended up having to pay a $1,000 fine and 10 years of probation. And from what I understand, people like that to do 10 years on paper is difficult.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So he does have 10 years of probation. And the $1,000 fine is supposed to be restitution that comes to me. I ain't got nothing. So I mean,
I
I,
mean,
I
he's
I can
probably
use that
he's supposed
1,000,
to
but
pay it.
it's
He's supposed to pay it,
it is
but
what it is. I moved on.
he's supposed to pay it, but the state gonna take theirs. But I get you, man. Man, sis, I first and foremost, I appreciate you coming here, taking the time out of your evening to talk about your story. Oh my goodness. All I can say is, oh my goodness. Gee, whew, gosh. It's, I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. These first three episodes, Doctor C, me, and now you. It really shows me the dimensions and the dimensions of what of how this goes and how deep this goes and how though the term domestic violence is the same, the stories are wholly different. Are wholly different. Now the outcomes from all three of our stories are the same. We're here and we're talking about them, but there are other stories whose outcomes are not so fortunate. But I'm gonna give you this time.
Yeah. I went.
I'm gonna give you this time. Let everybody know who you are, what you got going on, and also um where and also just if you want to just give a message to those people, to those men and women who are in these situations and who could be watching this right now, and just talk to the people.
I will do that. I went dark because my
Eh,
light, the battery died, and
whew,
guess what?
your phone about to
I
go.
got 10% left on my phone. So
Oh no,
I'm gonna go off camera for one moment while I go change location so that I can plug in. I
gotcha,
don't want to die on you
got
guys.
gotcha.
So give me one moment, okay?
I got you. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. What her story is one of many stories. Stories that have happy endings. I won't say happy endings. Stories that have endings are that the person survived, but the ending isn't happy. There's there's a lot of healing to do. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of healing to be done. There's a lot of reconciliation with oneself to be done. There's a lot of realizations, and there are a lot of realizations to be made in these situations. In these situations, not everybody who endures domestic violence can say can say that, because in most cases, not all, but most cases, that person doesn't survive. That person doesn't make it, or that person is injured. So that person is so physically injured that their quality of life is completely gone. And to me, and to me, when having your quality of life stripped away from you, I personally believe is worse than death. And yeah, people disabled from this stuff, man. Yeah, that's like I say, her. These are stories. One is number one number one a cautionary tale. That it, and when I say cautionary tale, is when you get into these relations with people, the veneer of that person disappears very quickly. And then you find out what you're now you find out what you're dealing with when the veneer disappears. And now the residue of that person, who that person actually is, appears. And then it's not what you expected or not what you were given initially. The other thing that I'm really going to reiterate when it comes to when her story is that make sure you see how deep that pool is before you jump in it, because if you jump in a pool and you don't know how deep it is, there's a possibility you're going to hit the bottom, and there's a possibility you can drown. So be wise, so be wise. And I see that she's back, so I'm gonna give her this opportunity to tell everybody who she is, what she's got going on, and where they can find her on social media. So Miss D, the floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm gonna go
Welcome.
as quickly as possible, guys, because I'm at 7%. And even though I'm plugged into this charger, my phone is like,
No,
I
no,
need a
no.
break. Y'all doing too much. So quickly, if
lost her for a second. Give me a moment. Yep. Her phone died. On her phone died. I kind of figured that one. So first and foremost, man, I'm gonna wait a minute before she can get back on. But while I'm doing that, I want to first of all, I want to thank Miss Dedra Pledger for coming number one, coming on and sharing her story with us. First and foremost, her stories are powerful stories of they are powerful stories of resilience and survival, but also of bravery in the face of most definitely a life threat. Most definitely both situations were life threatening situations. And that is kind of like that I won't even say kind of. That is something that these are the stories that need to be put out there. You know, we have all these guys, all these survivors. And like I said, we started off with Dr. C and she gave her powerful story. Then I talked about mine briefly. And now we got DJ Miss Pledger talking about her story. When I tell you, these stories are getting more and more intense as we continue to go through, as we can continue to go through them. It is important that we gain knowledge from these stories. What can we do? What can be done about these? What can we do? What can we do to build or to better yet combat this and do preventative measures for it? Um, just in case she doesn't come back to just in case she doesn't come back to the studio. Um, you can follow Dedra Pledger on her Facebook page um, at Dedra Pledger. You can also follow her on Instagram, and I do believe that's at I am Queen D to you. Let me just confirm that. Yep. So it is I am Queen D, the number two, and the letter U. So you can follow her on Instagram at I am Queen D to you, and you can also follow her on Facebook at DJ Pleasure. Um, she is also in the running for a contest, which is Fab over 40. Now, at the time of this particular recording, at the time of this particular recording, there is still time to vote. She is currently in third place. Um, at the time of this recording, you can vote. You can vote multiple times. Um, if you want to vote for her in a contest, the website is fab over 40.org slash 2025 forward slash Dedra dash BD 98. At the time of this recording, she's currently in third place in her group. The voting for the first phase of the contest either ends or has ended as of 10 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Make sure you guys support her so she can advance to the next phase of the contest. Um, just as a FYI, you can cast one free vote daily, as well as multiple monetary votes starting at 10 votes for $10. Donations go to the National Breast Cancer Fund to fund education, research, and support. Again, the website to vote for her is going to be fab over 40.org forward slash 2025 forward slash Dedra dash BD 98. If you catch her on Facebook or catch her on Instagram, that link's going to be in her bio. Make sure you vote for her. If you one vote is free, but then if you want to do the additional monetary votes, those votes are going to be $10 with with the donations or with the donations going to the National Breast Cancer Foundation to fund education, research, and support. Once again, I'm going to personally thank Miss DJ Pledger for being on the show tonight and sharing her story. If you want, if you want to know more about domestic violence, if you want to, if you want to get yourself into know about domestic violence, do me a favor. Go to this website, www.thehotline.org. That is the National Domestic Violence Center hotline. That website has a plethora of information for those who want number one want to research domestic violence, and those who are and those who are wanting to, and for also they have a chat line for victims. You can again, you can go to this chat anonymously. You can also call the hotline anonymously. I cannot emphasize this any more than I can. If you are a loved one in this situation, make sure you guys realize what this situation is, and please eliminate the fatal thought. Eliminate the thought that this is going to get better, because it's not. Educate yourself on what this is. Empower yourself. Empower yourself by taking a self-defense course. Also, seek help. Seek help that you seek help that you need. Seek help that you need, whether it's counseling, for mental health, or whether it's other types of counseling that you need. If you leave when it is safe, when it is absolutely safe to do so. Once you leave, please just stay gone. It's never good to go back to an abuser, even if there are children involved. Do that fight through the court system. Protect yourself. Protect yourself and protect your children. Protect your children if you have children. Get into a self-defense course. Learn how to use blunt and bladed weapons. And even more so, learn how to handle and carry a firearm. Protection of self and family is vitally important. But again, as we conclude this show tonight, I want to thank Dedra Pledger for being on the show and just sharing her powerful story with us tonight. If you want to know more about what we got going on TrailBlazerz Radio, you can follow us on our various social media platforms. We are on Facebook at TrailBlazerz Radio. We're also on Instagram at TrailBlazerz Radio. We are also on Spotify at TrailBlazerz Radio. All the episodes that are this with this podcast are most definitely right there on Spotify, or most definitely on Facebook, and most definitely on YouTube. So make sure you check this out. As I end this particular podcast, I want to say 3 things. Number 1, take care of each other. Number 2, love on each other. Number 3, it is a very, very crazy world out here. So the last thing I want to tell you guys is be safe out here. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching or listening to this podcast, and have a great day, great afternoon, or a great evening whenever you're watching this. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.